What is going on, nerds and nerdettes? It's your boy Stevie B with this week's haul video. Yes, I'm on track. I'm back on track, man. Everything's starting to gel. I'm starting to get my books in on a regular basis and stuff. And the only problem is man, I've been struggling. I'm struggling to find some good, decent key books that are affordable for me to share with you guys, because I really like sharing stuff like that with you guys, because not everybody can afford those high dollar, $10,000 books. Some of us have got to get in on the ground level and pick up some of those sleeper keys, that you can still pick up for $50 or less even, and those are the kind of keys I really like sharing with you guys, because man, those are the affordable ones that have so much potential. And I'm just running out, man. I'm running out of stuff. There's stuff on my hit list. There's definitely stuff on my hit list, but they're a little pricier, man. I've got that first appearance of the Teen Titans on my hit list. I've got a seller that's got one in decent condition. He wants a fair price for it, but he isn't answering my messages. So I'm working on that one. But anyway, so most of this stuff today is just going to be my Midtown pulls and a cool little book that I picked up that brought back some nostalgia for me. And if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already saw it, but we'll share it anyway. And first up is Daredevil number 11 with this Derek Chew cover. Love Elektra. Really like the Derek Chew cover. And this is closing out or coming to the end of Chip Zdarsky's run on Daredevil. It's coming to the climax, and I think he's got one more issue, and then that's the end of Chip Zdarsky's run on this. But I love me some Daredevil. And next up, ASM number 25 with the John Romita Jr. cover, that little ASM 252 homage cover. Been picking up the run ASMs, the new volume of ASMs. It's not bad. Of course, anything with ASM, it tends to be pretty good. Marvel does it right with their marquee character. They make sure they get the best writers, best artists on this. So, you got to pick them up. And next, all right, Marvel, you got me. You fooled me. I bought it on the cover and thought it was thought I was buying one thing, and ended up I was buying another one, because when you put the New Avengers number 1 on the cover, I thought, oh, Avengers got a new number 1, I'll pick it up. No, it's not New Avengers number 1. It is another ASM 25 variant cover with the Disney characters on it. So, all right, you got me. Did not do my research, and you got me. So I picked up 2 ASM 25s. And whoops, did I get ahead of myself here? I did. Oh well. Okay, that was pretty much it for the for the Midtown. Now, thanks to my boy Ryan Boone, who was able to get out on Free Comic Book Day and pick up some extras for your boy, because I didn't make it out. I was out of town and couldn't get to Douche Canoe Comics to get Free Comic Book Day stuff. So he picked up for me, but I did get one other book off of Midtown that actually I got a couple of them. I got these all mixed up. Sorry. Let's go with the the other 2 Midtown books. I forgot. I got mixed in here, and I lost my place here. But this one is Kong the Great War number 1, the Brian Hitch cover. This is the Virgin variant. Basically a German U-boat gets lost at sea and ends up on Skull Island, I guess, and this is their tale of trying to survive Skull Island with Godzilla and the rest of the monsters. So, or King Kong. So I'm a fan of King Kong and old monster movies like that. So I had to pick one up. Next up, we got new Green Lantern, part of the Dawn of DC, again with the reboots. But this is Green Lantern #1, new #1 issue. And who's the cover of this is on here? I forgot. Ivan Reis and Marcelo Malo, I don't know. Malo, I don't know. I can't pronounce. Again, with the artists, it's names you can't pronounce. Whatever happened to Jim Lee, Alex Ross, and easy names like that? Everybody has got these jacked up names. But anyway, I picked it up. First appearance of a new character called Steel Fury, and a cameo appearance of the Revenant Queen. So, little first appearances. Will they amount to anything? More than likely not, but it's the #1 issue, so I picked it up. That is almost my Midtown pickups. I got one more, but we'll get to it. And then, once again, my friend Ryan was able to get me a few of the free comic book day books that I really wanted. And one of them was Dawn of DC, Night Terrors, the special edition. And this story actually sounds good. This is, they're bringing the horror genre into DC Comics, mainstream comics. And so this is basically it's going to be a collection. Each like select titles are going to get 2-issue miniseries, and they're going to deal with the heroes and villains facing their worst nightmares in a nightmare realm. So it sounds interesting. I'll probably pick these up. These sound kind of cool. I'm interested to see what they do with the horror genre in mainstream. So, because the horror genre is kind of taken over. Don't be surprised if it doesn't, if you don't see a lot more horror coming, because it seems to be horror comics are doing really well. Speaking of horror comics and DC, if you, I've suggested this to many people, not many people have taken me up on it, but if you want a really cool DC inspired, we'll say inspired horror movie to watch, it is basically a take on the origin of Superman. It's called Brightburn. If you haven't seen that movie, check it out. It's really good, really good. It deals with, they don't call him Superman, they don't violate any trademarks and all this, but it's Superman. It is a variation on the origin of Superman. Spaceship crashed in a farm in Kansas. 2 couples find the baby and raise him, but instead of him growing up to be the Boy Scout, he realizes, I got powers, and ain't nobody can tell me to do shit. And he basically becomes a serial killer. And that's not nothing to. I'm holding up this book like that's what this book's about, but it has nothing. But it is an interesting, very interesting take on the origin of Superman. So it's called Brightburn. If you haven't watched it, check it out. Great movie. But anyway, I'm excited for the DC bringing the horror into the mainstream with this storyline, so I'll probably be reading it. Which brings me to my last Midtown book. I was so into it that I picked up the virgin foil cover. I bought it off of Midtown. It was $10. But this Jason Fabok, is that how you pronounce it? Fabok cover. So, yeah, foil. I had to have it. You know me, foil. I'm a 90s guy. Love that foil. And next on the free comic book day, Bountiful Garden. This is like these teen scientists get selected to go on a terraforming mission to another planet, and they gather up like the top biologists, I'm trying to think of a bunch of ists, the biologists, just a bunch of teen scientists that were at the top of their field, and they're sending them to this planet to terraform the planet. They cryo freeze them, and they're supposed to wake up when it's time to start transforming the planet. But they get knocked off course, woke up 10 years earlier than they were supposed to by some unforeseen entity, end up on the wrong planet, and they're trying to figure out what knocked them off course and what and what planet they're on and all this other stuff. So, sounds interesting. A little sci-fi horror. Not too bad. Speaking of horror, we got Tom Holland's Fright Night. And this is a continuation of the original Fright Night series. Picks up basically where it left off. And Tom Holland is actually writing the origins of the characters in here. So that might be pretty interesting. We'll check it out. Next up is Star Wars High Republic Adventures. There's nothing really that special about this other than I don't know if it's a flip book. I don't think it's a flip book. I think it has a Star Wars Adventures story, and it also has Avatar: The Last Airbender. So there's 2 stories in one comic, and I think they're going to continue that through the series. I think it's going to be a Star Wars Avatar type dual storyline in there. I'm not that excited about it, to be honest with you, because I could give a crap about Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I don't know why they would combine the two. I don't know. Not really that into it. Then next up, we've got Spider-Man Venom #1 with this Gleason cover. Glad to see he's off the webhead stuff and he's actually doing other stuff. But this is, billed as the beginning of the end for the symbiotes. Symbiotes are never going anywhere. I hate to break that to anybody. So if you think that this is going to be the extinction of the symbiote race, it's not going to be. They may tease it, but it ain't going to be. But I picked it up anyway because it is Spider-Man and Venom. And last from my free comic book days, the book everybody's slobbering all over and specking on. I just picked it up because it's Spider-Man and it was free. So, but it is Spider-Man 2 #1. It's the prequel to the new Spider-Man 2 video game for PS5. So, hence the Gamerverse logo on it. Apparently, it's the first appearance of a villain called the Hood. So people are specking really heavy on it, and this book is like going up in the secondary market to about $30 to $40, which I mean I said in my last video when we kind of brushed on it, it's not a bad spec because when you they introduce characters in video games and animated series. Look at Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn absolutely detonated, and when they brought her into the mainstream universe in comics. So there's a good chance, if this character pans out, you're probably going to see him in a Spider title and brought into mainstream continuity. So it's not a bad spec. I don't know that I would pay $30 for it, and I didn't get 47 copies so that I could gouge the rest of the community on it. I just got the one, and I'll hold on to it, see what happens with it. But I was excited to get it. And last book of the collection. When I was a little kid, man, I used one of my idols, man, The guy was crazy. The guy was absolutely insane. And man, I wanted to emulate him so bad. And how I survived my childhood, I'll never know. But it's Evel Knievel. And I picked up this from Ideal Toys. It was a free giveaway from Ideal Toys. Basically the first Evel Knievel comic book. But man, I remember watching this guy, his specials. He tried to jump the Grand Canyon, and that was crazy. He was just trying to always push the envelope. And even when he tried to jump the fountains in Vegas, I can't remember the name of the fountains, but he tried to jump them on his motorcycle, and it didn't end well for him, and he ended up breaking every single bone in his body. But he didn't quit. He healed, and he was back at it again. Every single bone in his body. This guy was crazy. But I don't know how many trash cans I set up, how many of my friends laid down in front of a bicycle ramp and let me jump over them. And I even did this one. I even tried to jump over a creek one time. I thought I can get enough speed up and I can make it over that creek. It's not that far across. The answer is no, I couldn't. So I slammed into the side of the creek bed on the other side and got banged up pretty good. Busted my bike up pretty good. But I walked away. You know, my parents were, back then, you know, you just took off on your bike. Your parents didn't know where you were. They didn't care. As long as you were home before the street lights came on, that was the rule. So here I am dragging my bike home from a half a mile away from my house. Bleeding, bruised, scraped up, beat up, and everything. But just like Evel Knievel, I didn't stop there. I kept going. We lived next to a golf course in Omaha, Nebraska. And in the wintertime, the golf course pond would freeze solid. And we used to play this game. The cart path went right up to close to the edge of the pond there, and we would set up a ramp at the edge of this cart path as close to the pond as we could get. And we would jump our bikes onto the pond and see who could stay up the longest once they hit the pond without sliding out from under you and crashing and burning. And the answer was nobody. Nobody could do it. You hit the pond, tires just right out from under you, and you go sliding across the pond. And to answer your question, yes, I have broken through the pond before. Little antsy on impatient, I guess, on waiting for it to freeze completely solid. So it wasn't frozen solid enough to support the weight of a bicycle and a 10-year-old kid crashing onto it. So, but it was fun. I survived it. I survived a lot of things, and I'm still here to talk about it. But I was excited to see this, and I picked it up for like $2 on eBay. So not a big pricey book, but and no key really. You know, I don't see them unless they do an Evel Knievel movie. If y'all are, somebody out there is listening, Evel Knievel would make a. Well, they may have done that already. They may have done one already. I think they have actually. But anyway, that's going to do it. That is the weekly pickups for this week. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor, smash that like button, and do all those YouTube things we like for you to do that helps grow the channel. Like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever you got to do. Let me know what your favorite books are. Let me know if you can think of any key books out there that are, you know, budget friendly. Share some info with a brother. Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to share the info with you guys, and so, you know, drop a comment in there. Let me know, what is your long-term spec? What is a severely undervalued key book that you can still pick up for under $100 that is just insane that you can get that cheap? And let me know. Share the love. That's going to do it for this one. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace.